feel like everybody at this point is trying to grow their hair out at least once or twice, but the level of success between us all varies. Some guys grow their hair out and it's like every stage is fire, every hairstyle is fire. But there are also some of us that have these really awkward stages that we hit, and it's like we're either forced to thug it out until we get to the next stage, or we're forced to cut all of our hair off. Well, don't worry, because today I'm about to give you guys a blueprint on how to handle all of these awkward stages so that you can have hair that you're proud of right now and avoid any awkward stages in the near future. First things first, you gotta understand the hairstyle timeline. The hairstyle timeline is a basic timeline that shows you which hairstyle looks the best at what length. And a lot of you guys are having a lot of trouble because you're getting the wrong style at the wrong time. So let's start with 0 to 2 months. From 0 to 2 months, you're just starting to grow your hair for real. So the easiest way that I think to grow your hair out and avoid awkward stages is to just have waves first. Now, I'm not really sure where the anti-waves campaign started or just how much this channel contributed indirectly to it, but just know that I really do think waves are amazing, man. They're clean, they're sharp, they're neat. And grown women love them, man. But more important than anything, they're necessary. Because the process of wearing that do-rag and brushing your hair consistently really lays your hair down. And when you have your hair laid down, it allows for you to have anywhere from 1 to 2 to even 3 months of hair growth for some hair type. And hiding that growth is important because the first awkward stage that you must avoid is the finna stage, or the Eddie Murphy stage as you guys call it on TikTok. But I call it the finna stage, the I'm finna grow my hair out stage. We all know that guy, and I was definitely this guy at one point in time, whose hair is barely long enough to run a comb through it. He can barely grab his hair with his 2 fingers, but he walking around acting like but he walks around like, man, I'm finna lock up, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna get braids. Boy, stop, just drive slow.
Don't rush to get grown, drive slow, homie.
So if you're thinking about growing it out, it might be worth waiting an extra month or 2 and locking in some of those waves so that you can avoid that initial awkward stage. Now, from 3 to 6 months, that's kind of like the most critical time in your entire hair life. You can't really afford to misstep or make rookie mistakes right here, because if you have a bad hair day, it's really gonna look like you had a bad hair day. So just make sure you cover the basics so you can get in and out of this stage as quickly as humanly possible. So, silk pillowcase, bonnet, deep condition every week. Only pick a comb your hair when it's wet. Get a lineup, get a side taper. Do not get braids that stop at your neck. Do not get twists that don't stay twisted. Do not get a front taper, right? Slow down. Everybody comment, drive slow, homie.
Don't rush to get grown, drive slow, homie.
And that might leave you thinking, well, what can I get? But this is where you want to implement the famous curl routine. And if you don't know about the famous weekly curl routine, just know the video will be linked somewhere above. Just make sure you go check it out. And if you're looking for a little something to help your hair grow or help your curls pop, make sure you slide over to richroyals.com, cop the Royal Hydration Treatment, the Majestic Mint Oil, that Rich Royals Curling Cream. But just know, once you do that routine, your curls will not only show, but they'll get better and better every single week. And this is important because you'll be so focused on getting your curls to pop better and better that you'll forget that your actual hair is grown. But pro tip, if you have a big forehead like me and your goal is to avoid any awkward stages, you're gonna wanna spend an extra 1 to 2, maybe even 3 months in this hair stage for a reason that I'll explain later. Just know that around this point, your hair is gonna be like, it's gonna be able to hang low enough so that it'll cover parts of your hairline and some of your forehead. And that's if and only if you've been doing your weekly curl routine consistently for the past 3 months, because if not, then your hair won't really have that hanging effect, if you know what I mean. Now, this 7 to 10 month stage is gonna be one of the most exciting hair stages that you ever have, because it's gonna be the stage where you're gonna be able to get those hairstyles without looking crazy. You can get the twists, you can lock up, you can get the braids, but I will warn you, if you're part of the big forehead community, you're gonna wanna hold off on some of the braids because cornrows stretch the skin on your forehead back, and when you combine a stretched forehead with neck braids, you'll probably look pretty awkward, so drive slow.
Don't rush to get grown, drive slow, homie.
Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, if you got a super small forehead, you guys do the opposite. You guys probably want to exit this stage early, stage left, and go ahead and start styling your hair, because you're gonna look pretty awkward simply because of the length of your fro and the angle at which your fro will grow. Instead of growing up, your fro will go out and around, and unless your barber knows how to hit that angle, you're gonna look pretty awkward. And last but not least, congratulations, man. Once you make it up here to 10 months, you've been taking care of your hair and following all the tips, you should have avoided most of the awkward stages in your hair journey. But just so you know, there's still a couple more to keep in mind regardless of your hair length. Now, some of you will probably run off and get styles as quick as you possibly can. But if you're one of those guys who want to stick with the curls past the 10, 11th month mark, be careful because you could end up in another awkward stage. And it's not because your hair won't look good, but it'll be because you have so much hair that at this point, your good hair days look amazing, but your bad hair days, you look homeless. And I don't think there's a hat or a toboggan that can actually save you. So what you want to do if you want to keep the curls is to trim it down a little bit. Or you can kind of just say thug it, and if you choose to thug it, I suggest you rack up on all your headbands and get the little pineapple bun. You know the little pineapple bun? Yeah, get used to that. That's you. Another awkward hair stage that you're probably gonna wanna avoid is that weird side fro taper hairstyle. You see, in the beginning when you got a fro and your curls are loose and natural and whatnot, it's all good for your hair to fade and completely blend all the way through. But once you start getting your hairstyle or getting braids and whatnot, you're gonna realize that there's gonna be a nice little taper right here. There's gonna be hair that's styled, but you're gonna have this little mini fro right in between the two, and it's gonna be awkward. It's not enough hair to get pulled into the style, and it's not low enough to look good as a part of the fade, you feel? So what I advise you guys to do is to do what I call a transition from a faded side taper to a hard taper. And a real barber probably won't call that a taper because it's not blended, so it's literally not a fade, so it's not a taper. But I call it a firm hard line taper, where it's no blend, it's literally just hair and then a part that's cut. But I will advise you, do not get this hairstyle too early, because if you have a shorter fro, you're gonna walk around and it's gonna be visible that you have no fade the entire time. And if you're looking for a little something to help your hair grow or help your curls pop, make sure you slide over to richroyals.com, cop the Royal Hydration Treatment, the Majestic Mint Oil, that Rich Royals Curling Cream. Man, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you drop them down below in the comments. It's been a great video, y'all. Peace.